Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Jack here, and I'm going to be reacting to different channel predictions that have been sent in to me by my fellow Spurs content creators ahead of our palate cleanser game on Sunday against Wolves before the other big one on Thursday night over in Frankfurt. Wonder what sort of lineup changes we'll get. Wonder what sort of predictions we'll get after what felt like a very good performance against Frankfurt, this last Thursday night at home. But we didn't get over the line. We sadly did not get the win, even though I think personally that we deserved it. Let me know, though, everybody, what your score prediction is going to be for this Sunday. What sort of changes would you expect or would you like to see Ange Postecoglou make? Without further ado, let's get into this one. Let's see what Kate from Kate and Jimbo's channel has to say. And then we also get, again, two for the price of one. We're going to have Jimbo as well send in his prediction. But big up to Kate. Thanks for sending this one in. And smash the like button for us as well, everybody. And also check out all these people's respective channels.
Up Dave and Jack at the Irish Hotspur. It's Kate from Kate and Jimbo, and I'm without my partner in crime because we forgot to record this before I left to travel down to Kent to see my family. So it's just me today. Sorry to disappoint everyone, but I'm giving my score prediction for Wolves Tottenham. Listen, last night felt like a loss. I thought we was so good in the second half. Bergvall with that absolutely blinding shot that just hit the crossbar. You had Bentancur hitting the post. You had Sonny. Oh, it's given me some hope for the second leg, to be fair, because I think if you can keep Ekateke quiet, they don't offer that much, although obviously it'll be different at home. But also I think it gave a glimpse of what we can do. So I've got a little bit of hope for the second leg, but it's not about that now. It's about Wolves. Look, I refuse to be doom and gloom. There's only a few games left, so I'm going to go for a Spurs win, obviously. And I'm going to go for a tight 2-1 because they love making me bite my nails. I'm trying so hard to grow them, but I keep biting them because of this bloody team. So yes, from the sunshine and the services of Cambridge, I am predicting Wolves 1, Tottenham 2. And as always, guys, come on you Spurs!
Big up, Kate. Thanks for sending that one in. I'll take a 2-1 win of any kind. Just feels good to win. Feels good to see Spurs playing a lot better. I thought we played great on Thursday night, and I would love to see something similar this Sunday. I wouldn't really be that surprised though if Ange makes a host of changes for this one. I think plenty of the more important players like Sonny, Madison, guys like that should be rested. Wonder if we can try to rotate guys in like Richarlison, see if he can get a chance, and maybe then consider him for Thursday night. Because even though I do like Solanke, has been a bit underwhelming, and we do need goals on this next European tie. But we'll go over to Jimbo. Like I said, two for the price of one. We'll see what his score prediction will be. I imagine he'll go bigger than 2-1. But big up to Kate. Thanks for making the time for us and sending that one in.
Hi, Dave and Jack. This is my prediction for the Wolves game. A bit gutted about last night. I thought we played so well. Second half, I thought we were. It's one of the best halves of the season for me. They were so good. So I think the momentum's going to go into the Wolves game, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there worried about playing Wolves. I'm not one bit. I think we will beat them. I think we're going to put a performance on to back up last night, ready for the next Frankfurt game. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 win to Spurs. I think that we're get out there and perform really well for the fans after last night. I'm sure they're a bit disappointed. So I'm going to go 3-1 to Spurs. And don't forget to like and subscribe to these two great guys. All right. And come on, you Spurs.
2-1 win, then a 3-1 win from the two of them. Similar minds, think alike, it looks like. They're in kind of a similar mood and maybe getting similar confidence after that last game against Frankfurt. Wonder if this Wolves team, though, will be on the beach in either a good way or a bad way. We've seen teams before that end up surviving relegation and know that they don't have really much else to play for. They're kind of just waiting for the season to end. The pressure's sort of off, that they can end up sort of mailing it in and, they can get beat a few times, or they just sort of all of a sudden end up playing a lot better football than they were before. I can recall Roy Hodgson's team with Crystal Palace putting in some pretty amazing performances once they kind of knew that, they were pretty much mid-table for the rest of the season. And then they were playing some pretty good stuff. I can't believe I'm even saying that out loud. Roy Hodgson and his team's playing good stuff, but I think you guys might remember that period there. So Wolves, will they do something similar? Let's hope not. But that is something to look at, maybe something to consider, with the team on the beach. Is that a good thing for Spurs or a bad thing? Let me know, everybody. But yeah, I think we'll try to treat this as a bit of a palate cleanser as a fan base, but also maybe even as a team, as an opportunity to rest players and get some other players worked into the lineup and see what they can do. Big up to Jim, 3-1 win. Absolutely take that. 2 wins back to back in terms of predictions so far. Now we'll head on over to Harry from Harry Scarf, Scarfy Spurs talk.
So, predictions for Wolves this weekend. If I'm totally honest with you, I'm not that worried. And, at the same time I say that, of course, it's Spurs, want to win every game. And for me, the most important thing in this game is that we rest players. We don't take the risk. And I know I haven't played that many games necessarily, recently, not long had an international break. But it's about not taking that risk. So, wholesale changes, I hope. I'm talking about, literally playing no first team players bar Vicario. I think you have to maybe play one of the two centre backs, maybe one midfielder, because a little bit short in there. But I want to be seeing the likes of Tell, Moore, Gray, anyone that's not really going to play against Frankfurt in that second leg. If I had a choice, I'd probably be starting in that second leg the likes of Tell, Odobert, overstrong at the moment in recent form, but Ange isn't going to do that. So therefore, you play them against Wolves, and they're the bench against Frankfurt. So you've got to be correlated, connected with. In this game, I'm a little bit worried. Wolves good up in form with their new manager. They've been very impressive, coached well with that Cunha. I'm not sure if he is back for this game. If he is, then of course he's a threat, but I think that does generally positively impact us because they then become heavily reliant on him. Others don't step up, and of course he isn't match fit. So I think we personally lose this because we have all eyes on that second leg. We put so much into that first leg. I'm not worried about that though. I'm going 2-1 Wolves.
All right. Thanks for the prediction, Harry. I would love to see Mikey Moore play. I would love to see Odobert get a chance. Matisse Tell, I haven't been too impressed by personally. I understand maybe people might feel differently on that, but it would be nice to get some more glimpses of him, get some more evidence, for us to take a look at, whether he is worth bringing in for a big, big fee of 60 plus million or something like that. It would be a big fee if we wanted to bring him in. So it'd be nice to see those guys get some minutes. Looks like he wants a host of changes for this game. He doesn't seem to really care too much about, trying to play some of our better players that would end up playing on Thursday night. It doesn't sound like he's going for a hybrid of any kind. He's just going to go for a host of changes, Harry. So I can appreciate that. I can understand that, and would love to see the Mikey Moore star, Mikey Namor, play on Sunday against Wolves. But thanks, Harry, for sending that one in. Also, just love the beautiful walks that this guy is on when we do get to get these predictions from him. Big up to him. Big up to Harry Scarf's channel, Scarfy Spurs Talk. And now we're going to move swiftly on to THFC Till I Dies, Dermatron.
Hi, this is Dermot, aka Dermatron from THFC Till I Die, the home of Tottenham past, present and exciting future as we march on to lift that UEFA Cup or the Europa League for the first time since 1984, the night Parksy made that fabulous save against Anderlecht and Keith Birkinshaw walked out and down the Tottenham High Road with that UEFA Cup tucked under his arm and said, "Thank you very much, lads. I am out of here." And this is my match day prediction for our game against Wolves on Sunday in the Premier League. Look, we can take a lot of positives from last night. Look, I know it's a draw. It feels like a loss, but it doesn't, if you know what I mean. If we took our chances, that tie would have been put to bed last night. But I think we can do a job in Germany. We can go there. And again, I keep saying, we beat a Dutch side and a German side on our way to win that UEFA Cup in 84. And omens, I believe in omens. We're going to win that trophy and we're going to win that UEFA Cup. Now, Sunday, I think we're going to win on Sunday. I'll never back my team to lose. I think we're going to go out there. We've got a point to prove. We've got a point to prove with Ange. I think we've got a point to prove that we can keep this sort of consistency running. We'll beat Southampton. Let's back it up with a win against Wolves. And I think we're going to win 4-0. I do. I think we're going to batter them. The way we played in that second half against Frankfurt, if we play like that against Wolves, we're going to batter them. So I'm going for a 4-0 win. Please like and subscribe, guys. Come on, you Spurs.
He's gone for a 4-0 battered sausage win. Battered Frankfurt maybe for Thursday. That would be great. And he's also laying out the omens for us beating the Dutch team as well as the German team on our way to a UEFA Cup final. Let's hope it comes through. Comes true, Dermatron. Appreciate you sending that one in. 4-0 against Wolves. That would be great. Not sure if that's happening though. I wonder if, again, maybe this Wolves team, now that the pressure is off, are they going to start playing some better stuff? A lot of the maybe regimented sort of instructions from the manager, they might sort of, ease up on that and sort of let the players, play a bit more freely. Could that suit us? I'm not sure. I'm just only speculating that when you do play against a team that is a bit on the beach, that doesn't really have to worry as much about relegation, that all of a sudden then you do get to see them. Weirdly, it's happened before, start playing some better stuff. But it'd be great to get another win in the bounce, in the Premier League, and just again gather that type of momentum and that belief ahead of the more important game on Thursday night. Big up to the Tron. Thanks for sending that one in. Everyone check out THFC Till I Die, please. And then we'll move now swiftly on to Lee the Dorset Spur. See what he has to say.
Hey boys, Lee the Dorset Spur here, back with my prediction for Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday in the Midlands. I don't know what to say, to be honest with you. I just don't know. Don't know who's going to turn up. I mean, on paper, this is Wolves. They are below us, one of the very few teams that are actually below us at the moment, and we are on a bit of an upswing, having beaten a poor Southampton and put in a fairly decent performance against Frankfurt last night. So you've got to be thinking that this is a chance for us to grab a few more points. If we get this, we're on 40 points, and that makes us safe from relegation. So everything to play for. Yeah, I think we've got our strongest squad back now. We've got plenty of players in there, got options off the bench and so on. I think it'll be a bit of a change from Thursday. I think he'll probably switch around a little bit and give a few other players a few more minutes. But I personally expect us to win this game. So I'm going to go for I think I'm going to go for a comfortable win. I'm going to go for 3-1 to Spurs. Up the Spurs.
Up the Spurs and another 3-1 prediction. Thank you, Lee, for sending that one in. Be nice to just have a easygoing win like we had against Southampton and just sort of rest our minds and sort of, again, to just gather a bit more confidence, a bit more momentum out of the more important game on Thursday night. Looking forward to seeing some different players come into the team, like I mentioned earlier. But yeah, I think that's a fair prediction from Lee. It is hard to know, though, what sort of Spurs you're still going to get. We have a great performance on Thursday and then a bit more of a, I don't know, like kind of withdrawn or just sort of kind of maybe easier sort of performance on Sunday where maybe the players aren't, as intense or as into it because they know that there's a more important game on Thursday. You don't know. Also, with kind of this stage of the season, it really is becoming a situation where you do really prioritize one game over another, which means then you can get very different levels of energy and very different levels of performances. But we'll find out. Would love a 3-1 win. Big up to my fellow happy clapper, Lee the Dorset Spur. Do check out his channel, please. And we'll end things off with my guilty pleasure, my worst nightmare, Alex Davis.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is your boy, Mr. Box Office from Mr. Box Office TV, back with another prediction for you today for the top Wolves game on Sunday in the afternoon at 2 o'clock. And my prediction is Wolves winning 2-1. The reason for this, nothing's changed. I think we were actually not too bad against Frankfurt, but Frankfurt had a plan. And it's just the same old thing. Same complaints. Johnson, he doesn't do nothing without scoring. What is Son doing? What does Solanke do? The defence. It's the same old thing. And it's just all on this manager. And I'm so bored. And that's it for me. And as far as I'm concerned, if we end up out the Europa League and we're done, I can go on my holidays and I'm done with this team and that's it. That's come from your boy, Mr. Box Office, the main event, the Professor of Truth and Entertainment, the ratings killer, Jack's nightmare, and David's guilty pleasure. And if you don't know, get to know and get that.
Get that. Would love to know where actually Alex Davis goes on vacations or where he's thinking about going to. I would join him. I bet in person, he is actually a lovely, lovely person, despite, how much he wants to say that he thinks he's my worst nightmare and things like that. But Alex, I've had a great time with him in person, so I'd be curious to know where he's headed off on vacation. It was very funny there when he almost said that we were lucky against Frankfurt. I think it's the other way around, Alex. I think Frankfurt were very lucky to an extent. They did well to try to stay in the game. I think they did what they wanted to, which was to try to keep the tie close and probably walk out with a draw or maybe even a sneaky win. And they were able to get that draw to take back, home to Frankfurt. But I mean, Spurs were the unlucky ones. Spurs had a plethora of chances to go and at least win that game, in my opinion, 3-1. We'll see how we play on Sunday. He's gone for, I think, the same score prediction there that Harry Scarf did, a 2-1 prediction, loss at the end of the day. And we'll see how that unfolds. I'm going to go for something around maybe my fellow, Spurs fans, a 2-1, a 3-1, something in that realm. I'll go for a 3-1 just to see some goals fly in. It would be nice to see us actually take our chances against this Wolves team so that we could have some confidence on Thursday night that we could take our chances. But big up to everybody. Thanks for supporting the channel through the ups and downs of this season. Only so many of these channel predictions left before we enter the summer. So please, everybody, smash the like button. Do check out these people's respective channels, and I will see you next time. Come on, you Spurs.